Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. Very warm welcome to our online conference dedicated to acquisition of hospitality real estate. Many thanks for joining us today. My name is Kseniia Korzun. I'm a general manager of ILP Group, and today we are going to discuss the situation occurred on the market of acquisition of hospitality real estate, about distressed assets. We will discuss different markets and situation on these markets, and I have seen the list of registered audience, and I'm sure that those who watch us today are very experienced professionals, and you know even more than me in this field, and you're experienced buyers. I see that we have more on the buy side audience today than on the seller side, so I'm going to address more to the buyers more than to the sellers, and you have your own analytical departments to see what's going on the market. However, what I'm going to share with you, our experience during this period, and the situation is completely different than it was before, like different even from the situation which was on March, on April. So today we see that the market is completely different, and it has been changed dramatically. So I will share my experience. I will be happy to answer your questions, which you may put below the conference in the comments. I will see that questions and will answer them. And of course, I'd prefer to see every one of you in person on our real life events, because ILP Group, we conduct a lot of real-life events in France, in Monaco, in Thailand, in China, and in other countries. However, due to pandemic and COVID-19, we couldn't actually conduct real-life events. That's why we conduct it online. However, I still hope it will be useful for you. So, pandemic has changed real estate market dramatically, and you see what's going on. Actually, it's a lot of assets on the market. I would say that I have never seen so much assets on the market as these days. We can see hotels which are very well performed. We can see high-yielded properties. We can see trophy assets. So actually, any hotel is available today. However, the quality and quantity of buyers has raised as well. So I see new type of buyers on the market, those who has never acquired any hotels, and they are now interested in this market because they see these distressed assets and they are starting to be interested in them. It's like, you know, we see that airports are not performing, and it's a good time to acquire airports because in a few years it will be still profitable, and now the prices are very low. The same situation buyers, investment funds, and experienced acquirers see on the hospitality market. So for those of you who are very well experienced hoteliers and investment funds who already own hotels, I would like to add that we can see competitors from different fields who have never been on this market before. And also I see a lot of doubts. So buyers see a lot of assets on the market. They can choose from, for example, before March of 2020, for one request, ILP Group could send you, let's say, 10 or 15 properties, right? Now we can share with you like 50 or 60 on a particular request. And this situation caused that buyers are now have significant doubts. Shall I actually decide what to acquire now, or maybe I should wait a bit to see what will come to the market next? So what I suggest that you have to decide for yourself whether you believe in this industry or not. If you believe that hospitality market will recover in a few years, let's say, and these properties will still be profitable, and you are really interested in this business, you have to choose and acquire. Because if you do not believe in this industry at all, and you think that hospitality market is dead and there is no point of deciding now, it's better to focus on other assets. It's plenty of them right now. Of course, if you believe that like on May 2021 it will be 99 occupancy rate and it will all the hotels will gain profit again, I would doubt it. However, no one knows, and I will not make any forecasts here. I just want you to understand whether you believe in this market and industry or not. So this is a key point, I believe. And because when we conduct negotiations to acquire a hotel, we always represent both buyer and the seller side, and I would share today on a particular properties which we are going to discuss today. I would share both sides experience, seller side and buyer side, so you will see how another side is reacting on the market changes. What we see that a lot of distressed assets appeared on the market, and when I'm using the word distressed, let's focus on this word, because buyers, sellers and intermediaries, they see this word in a different way. So when we say distressed, we at ILP Group, we mean that this property is available right now for a better condition than before. For example, it is lower price right now, significant discount, or it's available immediately on a short term. When we are talking about short term, it's in most cases it's a liquidation process, because some hotels and hotel groups are now in a procedure of bankruptcy and liquidation through courts, and in this procedure these groups are available for acquisition of other buyers. However, it's a particular time frame. So let's say we see that there is a portfolio in France and it's available within 2 or 3 weeks, because after that period the liquidation process will start, and it will be entire different procedure of acquiring. It will be a bidding process in some cases. So with this, in this case, for example, if we are talking about distressed assets available through liquidation procedure, then we would advise the buyer to consider that am I ready actually to acquire these properties in 2 or 3 weeks time frame or not, because if not, it will be just wasting a time for due diligence, which will not lead to anything sufficient. Then when we mean distressed, we mean that owners of current properties are in a distressed situation. They have financial hardship, and I'm really sorry to say that, but a lot of hoteliers are now in this situation, and it depends from market to market. On some markets, actually owners receive significant support from the government authorities, from different institutions. They've been financed, and some of their expenses have been covered, so they do not need to sell right now. However, in some countries, in some markets, owners are not so lucky, and they don't receive any support from anyone, and they are face to face this crisis, and they don't have assets to actually to finance this business, so they are forced to sell. Of course, they don't want to sell, and they're not happy about it, but they have no other situation. And in this way, we see that the asset, for example, in Paris, we now have this hotel, which previously it was for 450 millions. Now it is available for 320. So you see the very significant discount. Another opportunity, for example, is in Portugal, which before was 70 millions. Now it's 43. So you see that the discount is huge for this type of assets. And it's just because owners couldn't perform, and they really need to sell it right now urgently. And again, the word distressed is linked to urgency, because owners really want to sell urgent. However, there are other type of owners of hotels which we see. They are not happy about the market situation as well. They don't have any bookings, they don't earn money. However, they are tired of that attempts to acquire their hotel for nothing, for 50% discount, and they just took this property away of the market. So they are telling us we are not going to deal with this situation right now, because we are not ready to give you 40 or 50 or 30% discount. Just don't bother us, like we are not for sale. And it's because all the buyers are trying to negotiate the better price. So at the same time, we see a lot of great assets, really great assets like pearls and trophies and high yielded. However, some assets are not available just because of this situation. So we had one just great hotel in Italy, which was available before March, from January to March this year. But when pandemic started, a lady, the owner, she told, I'm not ready to deal with that, I will not sell. So at the same time, we see the assets not available just because of pandemic. So it's not true to say that any hotel you want to buy is accessible. Most of them, of course. And nowadays we see that some buyers, before buyers were approaching us asking like, I would like to acquire 5-star hotel in Paris with yield, with 3 or 4% yield, this number of keys and so on and so forth. And now buyers are choosing particular hotels because they understand that even this hotel is not available. If we can approach the owner and ask, are you considering offers, they will most likely consider. So my second advice to all the potential purchasers is to select actually the properties you are interested in, make a list, wish list, let's say, and just give us this list, us or our partners. So just show the list you want, and most likely it's available right now. So even you haven't heard of this hotel for sale from no one, you can just ask, and professional intermediaries like us, other brokers, agencies, they will approach the owners on your behalf and talk to the owners about this offer. So it's a great time actually to select any hotels you like. You can literally select any hotels you like and try to negotiate the best price and the best conditions on the market. Also, I would like to discuss with you yield question, because of course it's what all of you want, highest yield ever, and we know that, let's say, 8 or 10% yield in London, something impossible, and how you can achieve your goal these days. You can not only search yield which was like 2-3 years ago before pandemic, right? But by decreasing the price, by negotiating the price, you can achieve the higher yield, because you calculate yield from the profit and the price, right? And when you decrease the price, you get a higher yield. So this is a way of achieving your goal as well. And this is what we are doing very often. And nowadays, buyer has bargaining power. So when a buyer talks to the owner, buyer is one who owner will listen to, because of course everyone wants to sell these days. And just be very honest in what you want to achieve in your goals, and the sellers will most likely help you to achieve your goal. Also, of course, our experience, ILP Group, what I'm talking about, we based on mostly on European market, because what we are experienced in is London, Paris, Zurich, Milan, Roma, Lisbon, this type of cities, and it's more 5-4 star hotels, trophy hotels, less 2-3 stars. So of course 2-3 stars and hostels and social hotels, it's a different situation there. So it's fair for 4 and 5 stars, I would say, and for trophy assets. And these days all the pearls of hospitality market is available. Before, such hotels were never for sale, but this is a unique market and unique situation, so you can literally choose the most beautiful hotel and become an owner of this hotel. So do not hesitate to choose the best, I would say. It's a lot of portfolios on the market. So for hotel chains, I know that you are watching us, and sometimes you pick one hotel one by one, but these days portfolios are available. So entire hotel chains or portfolios of hotels with contracts of particular yield and with a particular number of rooms. Just to give you a couple of examples, for example, hotel chain in France, 5 hotels, price is 66 million, which is very, very low price. Before it was only 2 hotels of 90 million. Of this chain, it was for sale this year. So you see the difference, the previous price and nowadays. This portfolio is under liquidation right now. All the examples which I will be sharing with you, you can approach us. You will see our contacts after the conference, and you can approach us for more details, of course, because we cannot share the names and details before NDA is signed, and we will be happy to sign an NDA to share more details with you. So then it's 2 hotels in Portugal for 350 millions, which is again very low price. It's 4 5-star hotels. Then we have a portfolio of 5 hotels in London with 6% yield contracted. It's a leasehold, and 350 millions, which is for London, is a very good offer. So just a couple examples to show you that nowadays you can see very good offers on the market which were not available before these conditions. So it's a unique time to become an owner of a nice hotel. I see the situation that buyers feel very confident. That's great, because ILP Group, we are more on the buyer side. In most cases, we are a buyer mandate, and we are always with you, and we are fighting for you at all stages. But I see that buyers are so confident, and sometimes they are waiting for other offers, and current offers which they like become unavailable. Just to give you an idea how to check the market, because there is no professional media which counts deals on this market and, informing you that today this hotel is sold, yesterday this hotel is sold, because it's all of market deals, and no one is sharing their experience. But for example, if talking about London, there is a Companies House website where you can see owners of all the companies, and in France it's societe.com. These 2 websites are informing you about the owners of the hotels, who the owners are, and for example, you can see how many hotels have changed the owners these days. So you may see that a lot of deals are in progress, and market is moving. So really active deals, and it's not staying on the same page. Also, I see that a lot of investment funds are now focused on this industry and looking for this asset just because it's a distressed asset. So I see that there are investment funds who were never interested in this type of assets before COVID-19. However, this pandemic brought their attention to this market, which is good for us because we see a lot of new type of buyers on the market. And then I would like to move on to the procedure of negotiating between a buyer and a seller. Of course, every buyer has his own approach to this procedure, but what we at ILP Group see the most efficient way, it's always to bring a seller and a buyer to talk directly. That's what we are aiming at all stages, because the sooner you become to talk to each other, the sooner you will understand the property and understand is this deal for you or not. To make it happen, you have to show, I'm addressing my speech to buyers today, you have to show that you are serious and genuine buyer. And I would suggest to issue a letter of intent, letter of interest, LOI to the soonest you can. It's non-binding, it doesn't it's just a serious approach, but of course you don't have to buy this property if you don't like it. However, if you issue LOI and provide proof of funds on the very first stage of negotiations, the seller, the owner, will see that your intents are serious, and he will, of course, consider you as a serious buyer and will share all the information you need, because sometimes you ask of important information, you ask all the financials, P&Ls, you ask management accounts, everything which owner doesn't want to share if he doesn't understand that you are serious. So what I see that a lot of buyers are asking, like, give us all that information and we will think, and they are not ready to issue the paperwork first, to make a first step. And it's a lot of chicken egg situation on the market when seller says, I don't think this buyer is serious, and buyer says, I don't think I like this property before I see the financials. So addressing to the buyers, I would suggest that do not hesitate to issue LOI and show your intents by issuing proof of funds. Proof of funds, it may be, even if your company is public, an annual report, or it's not not necessarily always bank cover letter, so we can discuss different types of proof of funds which will be easier for you. But without proving that you are a genuine and serious buyer, it's hard to get all the information you need. Also, about mandates, seller mandates and buyer mandates, buyers are always ask us to show us seller mandate, show them seller mandate, right? There are different types of owners, different types of markets and assets. So sometimes, let's say in Thailand, we have our company holds seller mandates for properties, and we conduct the standard procedure. In some countries, most common, London, Paris, Switzerland, owners are not like, they prefer to say, I'm not selling the hotel, it's not for sale. No, seller mandates, no. Just if you will have an offer, just come to me, we will talk. So they are not ready to move on to the seller mandates right away. However, we always receive a kind of proof of delivery. So we never start selling the asset before we are sure, 100% sure it's available. So before we talk to the owners and receive some from owners' lawyers or their family offices, there's some significant proof that this hotel is available and this price is considerable, we will not start negotiations. So we will always issue a proof of delivery for you, for buyers, when you will request. And as for buyer mandates, because I know that my company and other partners on the market, we always request you to sign search mandate, so buyer mandate, right? And some buyers are afraid to issue this type of document, again, because they are not sure that we have the assets suitable for them. So why us, right? But just a few words, why we need this mandate, why we need the buyer mandate. Because when we have a buyer mandate, you as a buyer show that you are serious and you show that you really want to acquire a hotel. You are not just asking around, because if it's if you are a buyer as a hotel chain for another hotelier, you are first of all a competitor. Before you confirm that you really want to acquire, you are always a competitor, and they are very suspicious to share some information. So when you issue a search mandate, it proves that your intents are serious. You are a real buyer, genuine one. Of course, it's a non-binding document, so it doesn't make you stick to the one whom you gave that mandate. It just shows your intents. So again, once you issued LOI and proof of funds, you are waiting for all the information you like, and we deliver this information. So we should answer all your questions. We should bring you all the documents, and we should we should tell you everything you need to hear. And after that, if you are still interested in this property, we suggest you talk to the owners directly, and we always intend to make this direct communication. So if you are cooperating with us after all the paperwork is done, we always intend you to meet or have a teleconference with the owners, buyer and the owner, and discuss everything directly, because it's a lot of insights coming from the sellers which they will share with you happily. Also, I want to say that in our policy, it's markups are never accepted. So we will always negotiate for the better price for you. And I know that some brokers on the market are using this tool as starting sell this property with a markup. However, for well-known and reputable agents and brokers, it's just a taboo. So do not be afraid to have a markup, because the final price you will discuss with the owners directly. That's why, again, it's important to talk to the owners directly, because they will be sharing their opinion about the price. You will be negotiating with them. Finally, you will give your arguments why you think this price is high and it should be lower after financial due diligence, after technical due diligence. So you will negotiate the price yourself, and you can rest assured that all of us intermediaries, we really want the deal to happen, and no one wants to raise the price when it's better actually to decrease the price to make the deal happen. Also, as for the broker chains, I know your experienced buyers see the situation that they are approaching the agent or the broker, and then they see a broker chain, like one broker, second, third, five, I don't know, 10 brokers before reaching the seller. Now the market has changed dramatically. No one wants broker chains, no one works with them, and we solve this issue. We never like put you in one broker, second broker, third broker. So if you deal with us and we have, for example, we are a buyer mandate and there is a seller mandate on the other side, you will not experience any difficulties because all the paperwork will stay in between us. We will just reach you directly. You will reach directly the owner after showing the interest to the property. So nowadays these long broker chains are over, so everyone wants to talk direct, and we make it happen, and other partners in the market also try to establish direct communication, and it's very important in order to do the quick deal. Also about the prices, I know that for example in France it happens very often when this property has been offered for a couple of years, let's say it was never sold, and you receive from one broker, for example, you receive a price 170 millions, and other broker offers you the same property for 200 millions. You may think that that broker who offers you for 200 millions is doing a markup or something wrong here, and you choose the broker who offers you the less price. However, there is a hint that some brokers are trying to put the lower price, which is not agreed with the owners, just to catch the buyer. And when you start all the paperwork, when you submit a LOI to the owner, he's saying, oh no, 170 is not enough, like I want 200. So you reach the same amount, but you are already there in the paperwork with that agent. So I wouldn't say that the price is an indication of which broker to choose. I would say that just negotiate the price directly with the owners, try to establish direct communication, and negotiate the price directly. This is the best way to do it. I guess that's all I wanted to share today with you, and if you have some questions, I see one question. Kseniia, what is your opinion about LOI? About LOI in general, I would say that try to make it as more informative as you can. So put all your questions there, ask all your information there, describe the procedure, how you like it, how you see it, for example. Try to make it clear, because LOI, we deliver LOI directly to the owner, and owner countersigns this LOI showing that he has seen it and he accepted. So try to address all your speech to the owner in that LOI, because that's actually what he will see about you. Some buyers are also issuing cover letter. So, for example, they are submitting proof of funds, LOI, and cover letter, right? So it's also a way to do it. In cover letter, you just describe yourself, present yourself, saying what you like, what you don't like, and in LOI it's just straightforward information. You can do both ways. However, the more information you will insert in the LOI, the better. So do not make it in 2 lines. I like this property, give me financials, because you will then just get, for example, 1 line with yield, because that's what you asked. So ask about everything you need, like all the P&Ls for 3-5 years, all the management accounts, like whatever you need, just ask in the LOI, and it will be delivered. It will also take a couple of time to collect this information, and in some markets it takes some time. For example, Spain, Portugal, Italy, most owners do not have that paperwork ready on their desk, and that is a problem. So when you submit LOI, you wait for another week or 2 before they will collect everything. Just my advice is to be patient, and we always ask information piece by piece. For example, if you have something, if you have this and you don't have that, just, okay, send us what you have, and the buyer will start his due diligence with what you have. Another question, what about financing? Do you cooperate with the banks and do you provide the offers? Yes, we do. We have partners who help with financing, and currently good rates are available, like on markets such as London, Paris, Italy, Spain, Germany, and Switzerland. This market definitely, we have good partners, and we can help with that question. So just make an inquiry and we will show you what you have. Another question, how is yield calculated for distressed hotels based on 2019 profit? So yes, we take the 2019 information and current price, that's how we calculate it, because in 2020, as you may assume, there is no profit at all. And we do not make any forecasts for current years, because when a buyer asks the owners what will be the profit in this year or next year or a year after, no one is ready to make any forecast so far. So it depends on the buyer. Do you believe in this market or not? Because you may build the same forecasts as the owner, because no one knows what's going to happen. Okay, another question is, Georgia has less problem for selling. Problem is in borders. All of airports are closed. We start online selling. It's a bit harder because we're working to catch the buyers online. Yes, regarding online selling, I also wanted to point out, first, it's online procedure of acquisition, and another one is online marketing. I assume you're referring to online marketing. What I see that if a property is widely available online, in my experience, because I deal with trophies and with high-yielded and very well-known properties, it's very rare. So we deal only with off-market, not available online, right? No one knows that this hotel was ever sold and that it's available for sale right now. So it's not that properties which are actually marketed online. It's only by NDA sent to investment bankers, investment advisors, buyers directly, so we never show the properties online. Maybe for not off-market hotels, it's a different story. But as for a procedure of acquisition online, now it's different. So we have experienced that all the deal can be completed online without buyer visiting the owner. Of course, it depends on the markets, the properties, so a lot of different conditions. But in general, I would say that buyer doesn't need nowadays to arrive to the property to sign something. So everything is available online, and we can submit all the paperwork online and complete everything online. So there is no necessary to go for a viewing. And if your question was about how can I conduct a viewing if client couldn't arrive, of course I know that there are some kind of video viewings when you hold the camera together with your client online and you go through the hotel and showing everything. It will not be as nice and familiar as real life viewings. However, it's just a way of doing it, especially if the asset is distressed and you want to sell it as soon as possible. Okay, when will be the next online conference? Next online conference we have in the next month, in October. You can check our website, and we are going to conduct online conferences often, because last year we scheduled a lot of real-life conferences in France, in Monaco, in Moscow, in Bangkok and Shanghai. However, we couldn't conduct it because of the pandemic, so we're going to conduct a lot of conferences online. And the next one you can see on our website. It will be a big, the whole day conference. It will be like 20 speakers on different topics, so you're very warm welcome to join that conference as well. Okay, based on your experience since March 2020, could you briefly describe the profile of the buyers and profile of the assets which you have sold in crisis? Yes, so I would say that more actively these days institutional investors are acquiring. So we have different type of buyers, high net worth individuals, institutional investors, hotel chains, and I would say that investment funds are very active. So they really they take decisions, make decisions very fast. They know what they want to acquire. They have specific requirements, and they have a target to invest in the most profitable and best assets. That's why they choose the best options on the market right now and invest fast. So I would say the type of the buyers are investment funds, and also hotel chains. Some hotel chains actually they sell assets and they buy something in return. So once they sell some hotels, they buy something. For example, I could make an example with Thailand market. You know that Thailand is currently on lockdown. There is no tourism at all, and some hotel chains are really stressful, and some hotels are available for sale. So owners are selling Thai hotels and buy hotels in cities such as Berlin, Zurich, Paris, and London, because they believe these cities will be always in a good position and well performed, because it's not holiday tourism, it's like the whole year tourism. So they change the location. I would say that hotel chains change the location for their hotels. And the profile of the assets also, of course, everyone looks at yield. It's the first question, what yield is there? And with a trophy, negative yield is much less popular. So before March, we have seen the situation that buyers, and there were a lot of high net worth individuals acquiring hotels, they were buying assets based on, like, this is the most beautiful hotel. It's very well known, it's located, it's historical, and I have an availability to buy, why not? So it was a lot of acquisitions like this. But nowadays, everyone is calculating, so numbers are important. Okay, next question is, what is average 4-star hotel price range in capital cities? Example range of euro per room. Yes, but it depends. You know, nowadays there is no average, because you can see, okay, 4-star hotel, right? You can see in Paris for 50 million, for 60 million, and then you can see a hotel for 5 million, and then you can see a hotel for 100 million. So there is no average. And before March, it was the average price per room, which was in Paris, for example, 200, 300, 400,000 per room, right? I would say average. Again, it depends on the type. In social hotels, it's much less expensive. In more boutique hotels, or again, type of the hotel. So I wouldn't prefer to stick to that indicator of price per room, because it's very different depending on the price, on the type of the hotel. For example, I had a hotel in Paris which was only 8 million. It was social hotel with 40 rooms, so you can imagine how cheap was the price per room. And in London, Paris, Zurich, Geneva, very demanded markets. Berlin, a lot of requests for these markets. So the prices are still high. So they are not going so much down. You can find distressed assets only if it's liquidation, or if the owner is in financial hardship. When in Italy, in Portugal, in Spain, in Greece, in Cyprus, you see a very distressed situation. So most of the assets are available at much lower price than before. So it's more decrease of the price we can see there. For example, a 5-star hotel, it's 100 million, 150 million in Italy. In Spain, nearly the same. In Paris, it's 350, 400, 500 millions. In London, it's 100, 200, 300 millions per hotel. But it doesn't depend. So the owner is not building the price based on how many rooms. It's less likely he will. Owners consider their hotel as a trophy, as a pearl, and they just want this price as it is. So sometimes you cannot explain why the price is like this. What about Spain? What are the main factors clients pay attention on? I mean, in terms of their interest to Spain resorts properties. Thank you in advance. So for Spain, I can only share my experience at ILP Group. We receive requests that Spain is distressed, country is locked, no tourism, show me what is distressed there. So, and we have portfolios for example, right now, hotel chains for sale in Spain, and great resorts, and different all types of hotels. So from Spain we have a lot of properties for sale, and but buyers want it distressed. They want only when the prices are 30, 40, 50% discount, then they pay attention, then they are interested in. And another situation is with Barcelona and with Madrid, which in these cities for 5 stars and for 4 stars, prices are more or less holding on. Of course, there is a discount a bit, but not as significant as in small holiday cities of Spain. What is the current demand in commercial real estate in Algarve, Portugal, in comparison with other European markets? For Portugal, I see requests for Lisbon only because of RevPAR in Lisbon is very high. If you compare RevPAR throughout Europe, Lisbon and occupancy rate, so all the indexes of hospitality real estate in Lisbon are high. So investors really like Lisbon. So inside Portugal, I see a lot of requests to Lisbon. I know about couple of assets in Algarve, boutique hotels, a couple of them are for sale, and there are still demand, but it's not huge like Lisbon. It's a huge demand. When Algarve, Portugal, I believe we have to go case by case and market not the region itself but the property, because the region itself is not so much popular. What is the best way for hotels to cater for lifestyle change working from home? I don't know how to actually answer that question, because it's more to management, more a question to those who manage the hotel, not for those who sell, because we are at M&A market, and I believe it's not a question to me. It's better to ask hotel chains. Okay, so I think that that's all for now, and all the questions are finished. So I would like to thank you so much for your attention today, for your time. I know all of you are very busy, and it's a crazy market, and it's a lot of work, absolutely, for all of us. I hope some pieces of information which I shared were useful for you. We will be very happy to cooperate with you, and now you will see our contacts on the screen, so you can reach us and ask your questions, request any properties you like. We can share properties we have. We can discuss what you are interested in private, and I would like to wish you all good deals in this month, in September, in October, quick deals, and to buyers I would like to I wish you to select the properties you like, to find your best properties, and to be successful in all the acquisitions. So again, thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon in person somewhere in this world. Goodbye.